Well, hello love, and welcome to the guru. Right, a lot of people may feel a way about this and they may be like, what are you talking about? But that in 2022 customers are the real influencers, and I can explain. Familiar with the thing called supply and demand. Whenever there is a demand for a specific product,
someone create this, we need this, and if somebody creates it, we'll buy it.
The first thing that you have to do to master the whole game of supply and demand is first find the problem. So in this case, what I'm going to use as an example for number one, finding the problem, is hair growth. Okay, I think it's safe to say that women with naturally curly hair are the ones that have the most demand for a hair growth product, right? So we have the problem, and we have our target audience, our target market, which is women with naturally curly hair having an issue with hair growth and retaining length, right? Number two, target the leaders. So once I figured out what the problem is, all right, and I have the solution, now I need to figure out how to get my solution in the hands of the leaders, of the people that everyone is listening to, because I'm understanding that with me creating a product, just like for you yourself, let's say right now you have an idea for a product line because you see an issue, you can create a product until you're blue in the face. But until you're able to get your product in the hands of the people who are demanding the product in the first place, it's not going to make any money. And the way that you do that is to find the leaders, right? Find out who everyone is listening to. How do you do that? You'll get on social media. Super easy to do. You just get on Instagram, you get on YouTube, and you find the things that are trending. So the algorithm works in so many people's favor, especially if you're in business. Now, if you're just going after it for views, that's a whole nother thing. But if you're going after it for business, oh baby, you can get on something called Google Trends and go in there, figure out where everybody is gravitating mostly towards, and it's easy for you to pinpoint the leaders. Leave me some comments below, or if you're listening to this on my podcast, then why don't you head over to my Instagram and send me a DM. Let's talk in the comments. How many people can you name right off the top of your head that are leaders, right? Leaders that these people would target, not people, the brands, leaders that the brands would target. Number three, intensifying the demand, right? So everyone wants to grow hair, right? But we've already targeted the problem, which is hair growth and length retention for women with naturally curly hair. We find other people that have authority and the leaders in the natural hair community, or leaders when it comes to social media and black women. Who are these women listening to? Now it is time for us to look at their content and figure out what is the main thing that they're constantly talking about over and over again, and how can I capitalize off of that thing. There'll be so many different people. Like, there's a rice water craze, there's an apple cider vinegar craze, there's a 4C, 4A, 4B craze, right? All of these things come in seasons because you have to wait for that demand to be intensified for you to be able to sell a product. Stay with me, all right? So after we intensify the demand, we talk about it, we give it a name, we tell people, hey, black women, you need this product. The reason that your hair isn't growing is because it's dry, it doesn't have moisture, because black women's hair doesn't grow, right? So black women's hair doesn't create its own oil. So that is intensifying the problem, because we're like, okay, already my hair not growing the way it's supposed to. I'm not able to retain length. Oh man, and I'm black, so my hair doesn't retain moisture, or it's not able to create oil. My scalp doesn't produce its own oil, so I have to add more. Okay, now we've intensified this problem, right? Now I have to desperately look for a product that is going to A, fix the first problem that I found, B, a product that all of the leaders in the industry are talking about, 3, something that now is going to be a pacifier that I stick in my mouth to calm myself down because the problem has been intensified, right? The demand has been intensified because now I think that there's something wrong with my body. And no matter what I do, there's nothing on the inside of me that can fix this problem. I have to go get it from somewhere else. Problem is intensifying. Number 4, now as the brand, I can create the solution because I've done all of these different things, right? I'm not gonna go through all of them again. I've done all of these different things, and now I can create the solution. Now I can give everybody their saving grace. I can be the saving grace that comes in. And mind you, I've already been developing a relationship with all of these leaders. I've already kept my eyes on the leaders of every industry of the industry that I am targeting. So now I'm like, okay, I know who the leaders are. I know how to get the products in their hands. I know what their rates are. I know how much money I'm gonna have to dish out. Bet. Let's create this solution. Here's the product. Now we have all of these different product lines that are being introduced to you. This is why so many of y'all waste so much money on these products that end up being in the trash. Now we have to supply the leaders and the creators with the supply to fill the demand. So now I have to send out all of my products to everybody that I've been watching and I've had my eyes on that are leaders in the field that I am trying to target, because I follow this system and this system works every single time. This is not theory. I want you guys to just go do the math. Humor me. You know, and one day when you don't have anything else to do, think about this 5-step process that I just told you, and think about the way that you've purchased products in the past. And you have your favorite, so that's number 1, you had your problem. Number 2, one of your favorite YouTubers or whatever started talking about having that same problem too. Then shortly after that, it is intensified because you start seeing the problem everywhere. And then shortly after that, you see a solution for it. But then you don't really know if that's really a solution. But then you see the same leaders that you trust using it. And then the product's in rotation. You see it everywhere. But then after you use it for a while, you start to see that the person that you were listening to from jump, they don't use the product anymore either. So you find yourself right back in that same cycle of going to find another product line, and then you figure out or come in contact with another product line that is in that same exact process of that 5-step program, right? So I really want y'all to get into this because I'm giving you some real life game, okay? I'm pretty sure there are a couple of marketers that are like, really, Sin? Are you really telling them the game? This is the game. Stop letting people play you, all right? Supply and demand. We learned this in like middle school. We learned this on like high school in economics. Supply and demand. Understand what's happening to you when it's happening to you. We ain't learning this stuff in school for no reason. Now, we may not be, you know, using geometry and stuff like that all the time, depending on what field you in. But for the most part, we using a lot of this other stuff. We're just not paying attention. We have to pay attention. So let's talk about what you can do, and let me explain to you how, let me explain it to you, and let me prove to you how the influencer, you are the influencer, you, the consumer, are also the influencer, right? So yeah, you have influencers that influence you, right? The people that you watch on YouTube, the podcast that you listen to, hi, hello, you know, but at the end of the day, you are actually influencing these brands to create these products, because remember, the actual influencers are selling you the product after these 5 steps are handled. But if you follow these 6 steps, you can make sure that you are the influencer. And if all consumers really stood in their spots as influencers as it pertains to products and things like that, because you're the actual consumers, let's be real, I don't really buy products that much with my own money because I have enough brands that I stand behind that send it to me for free, right? So you are the one that needs to figure out how to make sure that you're not wasting your money, right? Let's get into this. Number one,